Muy buenas noches, soy Crypto Bernie y les doy la bienvenida a un nuevo video de mi canal. Tengo la fortuna de tener acá a Mr. O. Vamos a hacer este AMA en inglés, como siempre. Y él es el CEO de BlockChain Beavers. Como siempre les digo, esto no debe ser considerado asesoría financiera. Estamos contando qué es lo que vamos encontrando chévere en el proyecto, en el mundo DeFi, todo lo que hay interesante. Y le doy la bienvenida. Ahora trastiémonos al inglés para que Mr. O se sienta mucho más cómodo. Hi, Mr. O. I was just saying hi to the community.
Well,
Hello,
hello.
Gabo. You're this. This is a great guy that I love. I appreciate, not love. I appreciate Gabo,
Hola.
and he's one of the directors of Monstro. He wanted to hear what you were going to say here. So,
Well,
hola,
I'm
Mr. O. How
excited.
are you?
I'm very good. I'm a little cold. Our temperatures are finally dropping,
Wow.
but you know what? It's been beautiful weather still, so I will take it. The sun is out, and obviously it's evening now, but very excited. I'm glad that you've joined our community at Blockchain Beavers. I've seen you around many places. I subscribed to your channel not too long ago, and learning about you and you learning about me. So very excited and glad that we can do this.
It's amazing to have people that love all this around and that is having a great time working on everything that is around crypto and DeFi. And I believe you're doing more than is the sound is the volume okay? I believe
Absolutely.
everything that you're doing is amazing for the community, and I want to know a little bit more. Tell the people that watch us in live and the ones that watch us later. What are you doing and what blockchain beavers is and what is the idea of this project?
Absolutely. So, like anything, everybody always wants to know where you started and what really brought blockchain beavers forward. And that was my sort of introduction into mining. I got into blockchain, Bitcoin mining about 3 years ago. It was very interesting. If everybody recalls, I guess that would have been 2020. We had some crazy runs with Bitcoin, and for me, it was how do I get into this without taking 20, 30, 40, $50,000 and buying uh, Bitcoin. And so my partner in my real life business, uh, aptly named Mr. O Supply, we looked at each other and we said, is there an opportunity that we can earn Bitcoin and utilize the resources that we have and the knowledge that we have? And at that time, we had zero knowledge. So I looked into Bitcoin mining because for me, as a person who runs a business, that seems like the kind of direction I would go when I'm trying to earn something. I purchase a product, a miner, right? I put it into uh, my facility. I build it, build a small mine, if you will, with all these machines, and then pay for power and earn blockchain rewards in Bitcoin. When I did that, of course, it is expensive. At one point, if you're familiar with Bitcoin miners and the Antminer S9s, when Bitcoin goes up, costs are very high. So I was spending, up to $1,000 on miners. I actually purchased my most expensive miner, which was a What's miner. It does about 100 terahash, and that was about $7,000 a
Wow.
couple years ago. But the only reason I was able to buy that was because I utilized all the earnings that I had, you know, been rewarded with in Bitcoin to upgrade my machines. So I had at one point about 15 of not the 100 terahash miners, but the 13 and a half terahash miners. And I was earning Bitcoin every month. And so I realized that if I upgrade my machine, and I get more efficient, my costs will come down because now instead of 13 machines, I'm running two or three. My rewards will go up because obviously my costs come down and we look at our revenue, we take away our costs, and that's what we're left over with. So it was really interesting to me, but what I didn't see was a way for people to get into Bitcoin mining that was cost effective anymore. When people started doing this in 20, I think the first time I ever heard about Bitcoin and mining was 2012, 2011. I actually had a friend who told me about it. And unfortunately, I didn't get into it at the time, but he explained, if you take your computer, you turn it on, and you do this thing called mining, you basically solve equations, you can earn money, but it doesn't work because the power that you waste, it's going to cost more than the Bitcoin you bring in. Now, had I been able to look 10 years in the future, we all know that the power is nothing compared to what it would be worth today. So that was sort of how Blockchain Beavers, the idea was formed, because I started getting into NFTs and I saw NFTs are an option where people can kind of buy into a project. Maybe we look at it as an investment. And so if we can bring the cost down of these miners, maybe there's something there. And so
Okay.
Blockchain Beavers, came out of that idea.
But all these miners that you own are part of the project, or are
So
there, or what is the relationship with that experience you had and the things that you have now?
so they are not part of the project, and that's because a lot of these machines have either become obsolete, so I've taken them offline, or I have, as an example, one that I actually operate on behalf of my father. So I run two miners right now. One is a partner that I have with one is with my partnership in my business. The other one's for my father, and so those are not part of the project. I haven't obviously taken any costs from it because I'm not going to take from the project to put it into my own pockets. The goal of
Okay.
Blockchain Beavers is to bring mining to everyone and reward the holders with the mining rewards that we get, and we get those now through the Alpha Mining Company, which was a partnership I created about a year and a half ago now, when I realized that rather than purchasing my own miners, bringing them in house locally, there's a great opportunity to work with Alpha Mining Company, purchase their NFT, their fractionalized, mining operation, or buy into their
Yeah.
fractionalized mining operation, and potentially have even better rewards. Because uh, up in Canada, where I'm located, our costs are about 6.5, 7 cents USD, depending on the time. We work on a fluctuating uh, cost. So during the
Okay.
day, it's very expensive, and overnight, it's less expensive. But the partnership I created with Alpha Mining Company, I think, gives us the greatest opportunity for the most rewards without seeing, a lot of cost coming into the project
Okay.
either.
So you at this time, you how many NFTs does the project own from Alpha Mining? I don't know if everyone knows about Alpha Mining and Alpha Shares. This is a great project that is based in Paraguay, Ciudad del Este, I believe. They have 252 AMCs, 252 miners,
Mhm.
and they're buying 212, I believe, or something like this,
I think it's about
230 new ones.
213. Yeah.
So they're bringing 400, 800, 480 around miners working for this project, and the also the AMCRs that are the ones that you have. You own some of them. Tell me how many you own.
Yeah,
The project
absolutely.
owns.
So the Alpha Mining Company reserve round, because we were a partner project, we actually have a really deep relationship with Alpha Shares. They work with us, or we worked with them to launch our project on the alphashares.io marketplace. So
Yeah.
we mint there. We're still currently minting. Obviously, you can purchase or trade on the Alpha Shares website. because we were a partner project, they gave us opportunity to ensure that we were allocated the Alpha Mining Company Reserve NFTs, which is that first round. Each one was $1,000. We were able, with the raise that we made, to purchase five of the AMCR, the Alpha Mining Reserve NFTs. So we purchased five of those, and that gets us that initial. I think it's 231 are currently uh, being put into operation, and it's a huge undertaking that to do it with one person, with one group, is very challenging. But Alpha Mining has done a great job securing land down in Paraguay, setting up these machines, and then expanding into their next round, which is that tier one AMC uh, NFT, which we hold three of those.
Okay, I'm gonna show and share the dashboard of Alpha Mining. Let me see to show people what we're talking about because I also
Absolutely.
love the project.
Today was pretty good. I think I noticed that a few more miners are now online. Obviously, when you're getting new equipment, they've been doing a great job. They bought less expensive miners, obviously because of the volume. They also took all of those miners and they upgraded them to liquid cooling, so they're more efficient. And Luxor pool, which is actually a huge pool, that's probably going to get them and us the best rewards compared to a lot of the other pools, right? Being bigger isn't always better, uh, but in some cases it is, because you're going to just get more rewards from more machines uh, globally. So
And take
this
a
is
look at
great to
this.
see.
Take a look at the dashboard. They have already the 252 miners working. A couple of days
Very
ago, they
exciting.
were not all working, so it's amazing to see this.
It is. They weren't all working, and I believe that was because they had some upgrades to do with their fans. Um, Clearly the hash rate is a little bit low, and I suspect it's because of the bringing these machines online. You got to turn them on, and hey, if all 252 miners are online, I think a couple of hours ago it was only showing 190 something. So that just tells me that they powered down, had to get these machines installed, and they're probably in the phase of turning these all on. Now they're on, so it's going to take some time to get that hash rate up. But when it does, I think we'll be seeing about 40,000 terahash per second, which is uh, comparing my
So
100 terahash machine, it's a lot.
I imagine that. But tell me, Miso, what is the difference between getting into alpha shares and getting into blockchain beavers? What will be the advantage of being with you?
So the advantage of blockchain beavers, the way I see it, is an alpha mining company NFT was, and I say was because the tier ones are now closed. That tier one mint is closed. Was $250 USD. They are doing it in USD on Polygon. The
Okay.
next tier is going to be $300. Uh, a blockchain beaver at current Ethereum pricing, I think we're about $40. We are 0.019 ETH. So yes, while Ethereum may go up, cost will go up, but we did decide um, to lower the cost to make it so that purchasing, if you've got a couple dollars that you're looking to invest, but you don't want to put out 250 or $300 on one NFT, perhaps you can have three blockchain beavers and you spend $100. So it's a cost-effective entry. It's a way to diversify yourself, and hopefully you have a lot of fun. Like, we love the blockchain beaver art. Of course, I do myself as well. I have a special one of one Mr. O beaver that I did for a real purpose, because I utilize him now as my mascot in business. We'd love to work with community members who perhaps like the idea of a beaver, want to add your logo to that beaver. So I'm now trying to work out ways that we can bring the community, if you've got a business and you need a mascot, to utilize a blockchain beaver as a recognizable figure. Because when I give someone my card and it's got Mr. O on it, they just, oh, that's cute, right? And they remember us. So that's sort of secondary to the main purpose, which is let's invest into blockchain, uh, starting with mining. I originally had hoped to raise a lot more funds and get right into things like staking and validating nodes. But for now, you know what? Focus on mining. Let's get some more, into alpha mining. Perhaps look at some other projects that are doing mining, whether it's Bitcoin, Kadena mining was one that I had looked at for a long time. There are a lot of mining projects out there, and I don't know if we need another specifically mining project.
But I was telling you that I had noticed, and I've been invested in several different projects that I
Yep.
really appreciate. One of those is Monstro that Gabo came to watch us here, and I think. Do you believe this kind of project will feasible to start investing in, like in crypto markets with a solid, or you're focusing only on mining?
So,
Are these open ideas or not?
so I think that absolutely any opportunity to invest in the crypto market and bring rewards back to the community and the holders, that's what the project is about. Because at the end of the day, we're here to secure the blockchain. That was sort of my mantra, right? Blockchain
Okay.
beavers are here to secure the blockchain. We do that, and the ways to do that are, mining, staking, and validating. However, when you're, investing in other areas of the blockchains, um, transactions have to happen, and that gives incentives to miners or validators or stakers. So there's always certainly an opportunity, I think, to invest in other areas, uh, so long as there are ways to bring rewards back. And I think that's always been my goal, is to bring rewards back, um, versus, you know, making an investment and then seeing what's going to happen in a year. If every 2 months I get rewards, that's great.
And how are you distributing your dividends or your rewards to the people, to the community? How is it working at this time, or what is your purpose to do for the community?
Absolutely. So right now we haven't done any reward distributions. The rewards are very small. The initial goal was to take all of our rewards and continue to invest in, at this point, alpha mining. If there are other projects that we find that seem to make sense to take those rewards, convert them into, US dollars or Polygon or ETH or Matic, perhaps invest into that other area. And
Okay.
the initial phase was 6 months. I always said that once we get mining and once we start bringing rewards, we should give it 6 months, see what kind of rewards we have, see if we can continue to stack our rewards. Because in the long term, if we can make those sort of short term, I'll call it short term pain, right? It's not pain because we are investing, but the longer term reward and gain will benefit us in the community. Because, to give out $40 to 100 people, not everybody wants it. They'd rather see that go to work for them.
Sure, sure, sure. But this will be you're compounding. Is there any idea to keep compounding after you start distributing, or is fixed to distribute? Is there anything like decided on this side,
So
or
let's look. If we look at the collection, there's right now 715 blockchain beavers out in the wild.
okay?
The project itself holds about 141 blockchain beavers. I own blockchain beavers. Many people hold multiple beavers. So the project, it's blockchain beavers will get some of those rewards because it would, 141 divided by the current 715, a portion will go to the blockchain beavers. And that's what I foresee as being the compounding investment. So
Okay.
as we continue to grow, if we buy back some blockchain beavers, just like us, I mean, we're not going to say stock, but very similar. The project could purchase blockchain beavers back from the community, right? As the part of the reward give back system, if you will. But that means that the blockchain beavers will now hold more of the beavers, and we will continue to invest those funds that those blockchain beavers get, so that while we're able to give rewards to everyone, we still have an allocation that is dedicated to continuing to build and reinvest.
Okay. Okay. Understood. So, uh, alpha mining, you have five AMCRs, and I believe you have three AMCs.
Correct.
Okay. And the idea is to grow that amount each time there's a new phase in the alpha mining, or look for another Bitcoin mining that are all of these projects are have to be really safe, is what I understand. It's not
That
going to any Ponzinomic project or something like that.
No, I'm not looking for. Look, we are not the get rich quick project.
Excellent. I
We
like
are
that.
the slow and steady build your wealth over time project, because we can all go out and we can find projects that, maybe we mint for free and they sell for an ETH. Maybe we pay 0.05 and they sell for an ETH. Maybe we lose our point 0.5. You know, there are projects out there that are designed to do that. There are clubs, there are gaming NFTs, there are some that might give you those rewards, and you might make a ton of money, or there are promises that we're going to go to the moon. If I can give you back 5% as an annual return, I'm happy with that, because I can go out and find those crazy projects too. And I think if you want to go find them, that's fine. I at least want to make my project slow and steady, one that we can all look at in 20 years, give things to, give beavers to our children, um, when more people are in the NFT and crypto space, because it is so small right now. I want to be one of those small, you know, um,
Boutique. Kind
yeah,
of
we're
boutique.
we're kind of boutique, and I laugh. I have a customer who, his comment has always been, "I don't need to be the biggest. I just want to be the richest." So
That's
we
funny.
may not be the biggest project, we may not have the most holders, we may not, hold the most AMCRs, but if we invest our funds wisely into safe projects elsewhere, or, I mean, we get it 32 ETH and stake that, that's our ETH. It'll never go anywhere, and we'll always get rewards. There's staking in Polygon, there's staking in a lot of other options, which again are very safe, and bring us rewards.
So you say I'm just making my taking my calculator out. You have 700 around times 40. That will be $28,000. All of them are invested, or do you have something in crypto coins or something? Or
So we didn't. So so probably have to back up a little bit. We
okay,
did not mint a complete 715. I was part of an incubator project. The
okay,
project came in and supported the blockchain beavers becoming what they are. They
okay.
invested to make sure that there was basically no cost, if you will, to blockchain beavers to build what we had. That incubator project supported that. As part of that project, I gave holders some blockchain beavers.
Okay.
So that was plus, of course, the project has 141, which we minted. Uh, that was actually a mistake. The dev, for whatever reason, whatever happened when the dev did the first test batch, the blockchain beavers got double what we were supposed to get.
Okay.
So, we're going to look at ways to either perhaps, I think we've talked offline about selling
Yeah.
them even below, potentially below mint, just to get some secondary sales going, maybe bring in some holders that are more interested, but at a lower price point, until we can continue the minting. Uh, but there are holders that invested in the other project who got blockchain beavers, but then subsequently some did invest, and we thank those holders, for obviously buying additional blockchain beavers, and some did not. I don't have the numbers handy. I would have to check Etherscan and just get you the numbers.
No.
But I believe when we minted, I think we started minting just before 500. So we've got about 215 mints that came through, which
Okay.
gave us about, I guess, $6,000 to invest in the five AMCRs, which were $1,000 each, plus the three AMCs. I also this was, and this is one of those things where wasn't expecting it. If you're familiar with the Rhoda project, Apes Together Strong, I wanted to grab some giveaway rewards for those who continued to mint. Purchased two of them as giveaways, and then we ended up selling it at 0.25 ETH, which we then parlayed into more AMCs. But it was more, I was going to give it away. I reached out to the community and said, hey, these are worth more than we paid for them. Would you rather have me do a giveaway, or would you rather just let's get some more Alpha Mining Company NFTs? And that's what we did.
And how does the community work? Because you talk a lot about the community, and do they speak a lot, and you hear them, and is it really active the community in blockchain beavers?
So we're not a hugely active community. I can probably tell you a dozen people that I speak to every, once a week. But I do see them in the other communities like Alpha Mining, Alpha
Okay.
Shares, I guess. So I see them elsewhere. And while we are, excuse me, a quieter community, we are also a smaller community. So we're still trying to build, that following on Twitter, getting people into our Discord. I believe we only have about 60 or 70 people in our Discord. So, again, smaller, quieter, but if you put your faith in me, and you trust that I will do what I say. And so far, as best I can say, is, I promised to bring blockchain beavers. We launched, we started minting. I promised that I would take all those funds, put them into, whatever we can for mining, outside of things like, paying for gas fees, rewards back to the dev, or, if I've got to list something, paying for gas again there, paying for the gas to purchase the AMCRs, everything that has come in, that was promised to go to the blockchain beavers and invest in purchases.
Yeah.
I've done that, and we have gotten, again, it's not a lot, it's a start. We've got over 9,000, we got almost 9,000 beavers left. If we get all those minted out, then we will still have a really nice treasury of investments that we can look at.
Another question that I have, and I asked you offline before, why do you use Ethereum? Because I believe, and I told you that it's expensive. Why did you decide to go there instead of Polygon or any other?
So when we first launched, obviously Ethereum is the biggest, marketplace when it comes to NFTs. It's the second largest cryptocurrency that's out there. Um, Alpha Shares didn't actually have Polygon on their website at the
No,
time.
okay,
So
that
prior to their launch of the marketplace with, I think they have almost 10 all cryptos that you can use, right? They've got Polygon, they've got ETH, they've got AVAX, they've got somewhere between 7 and 9, I believe.
I believe
But
it's
we were,
7. Yeah.
yeah, okay, 7. I was trying to think. Um, but basically, we were before they had even launched, being able to utilize Polygon.
Okay.
It's certainly something that I'm open to. Um, but again, we can send rewards in a different way. So while yes, I agree with you, Ethereum and gas fees can get quite expensive, the additional cost to perhaps bridge over to something else at this time, I think there's more value in getting more investments or at least bringing those rewards. If we're able to bridge and there's no major impact on the treasury that we have, the funds that we have, I think that makes sense. Now, if somebody were to tell me tomorrow, hey, if you go on Polygon, I can mint the entire collection at whatever price we set, and we'll have way better investments. Um, I guess I'll pull out of my pocket and pay for that,
Let's go
right?
for it.
And let's do it because I'll just in full transparency, you can look at the blockchain. There is a percentage that went to the incubator project. Percentage goes to Alpha Shares. Myself, a supporting partner at the time when we launched the project, did take a percentage, and we still give a percentage of the mint to the artist because these are people that didn't invest money. Well, in some cases, we invested money, but mostly invested time. So, especially artwork, uh, people are owed what the work that they did.
Obviously, you have to pay for them for what they did.
Absolutely.
No, so I don't have more questions. I don't know if anyone in the community wants to ask. There's a couple of guys here that just say hi, but I don't know if they're still listening. And no, I think your project is amazing. I have a couple of ideas that I've been talking to you, and my idea is to
Absolutely.
support you and try to be part of this project as much as possible, and give you all the ideas that I can. I've been working also with Gabo in a couple of stuff, and also with another 2 or 3 projects that I've been helping and trying to bring more people. Obviously, Latin American people. I've been helping Alpha Mining as much as I can to transmit all these good ideas in Spanish,
Some
because
great
in
stuff.
Spanish is really, people in Latin America don't know the huge opportunities that they can find in blockchain. So there's a lot of opportunities, and I hope I can invest as much as possible here, and hope I can get my first beavers in in short time. I'm waiting for some money to talk to you and send it as fast as possible. But I want to offer you or promote. You should think about Monster Investment, because I believe it's an amazing farming opportunity that has been managed by Varius and Gabo. We can get in touch with them and talk about them, because I believe with $100, or a little bit more probably at this time because the sales are closed, we can buy one NFT or two NFTs, and they're doing almost 10% a month, between 10 and 20% a month in revenues with farming. The other project that I told you is Crypto Mining Club. I saw
Hmm.
it. They're selling the NFTs for $190 USDT, I believe it is, and they have really cheap energy costs at 1 cent, one
Yeah,
and
you were
one point
saying
two cent.
wild.
Is wow.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
I can't promote it. I can't tell you about it before I see the money get into my account.
Of
I just
course.
bought one, and so but they're selling. They were selling at 375. They just have the NFTs.
Okay.
So I bought one for 375, and now I have two for 190 that
Oh,
are
pretty good.
priced
Yep.
190. So I have two at this moment, and I hope they sell a lot more. They have over 2,000. I had a question that I forgot. How long have you
That's
been working for blockchain beavers? How long has one was it born?
So let's see. We're 2023. So we're November. We're almost a year that everything really started coming together.
Okay.
So the last project, I guess I can promote it. So the incubator project was the Atlas Lions Club.
Ah,
Uh,
okay.
I joined it in January of 2022. Part of the community. And that's when I had that idea for, hey, how can we bring, blockchain mining to sort of back to the people, to more people? Obviously, I invested in the Atlas Lions Club. I own some of their match boxes, and we went through some rounds of incubation. And so, the community voted. There's a few hundred people. I think they had, 2 to 3,000 votes between the 10 projects that came in. We did pitches. And then August of 2022, so last year, is when the blockchain beavers, August, might have been July. My dates aren't perfect, but in the summer of 2022 was when the community voted that blockchain beavers would be the project to go forward. We worked with the founders at the time to bring blockchain beavers together, and then we started minting. uh, I guess it would have been February of this year. The reason I can say that the Atlas Lions Club is still a project that's going on today is because I actually took it over
Okay.
from the founders. So I worked with them because they didn't want a rug. I mean, the artwork is amazing. The community was great. We have a great vibe in the sense that the Atlas Lions Club is kind of a underground speakeasy type of place. We had some great community members that are very smart. A lot of projects came forward, and I still think we have that community. It's gone a little quiet, and the founder said we don't want to see the project die. So if someone can take it over, we'd love to give it to the community. So myself and one of the other community members came together and said, we want to take it because it obviously is what launched the blockchain beavers. Um, and because we think that there's an opportunity for it to become a really good club in the future. So
Okay.
it's currently on the back burners. We're sort of working through some ideas on how we want it to look in the future. Um, but the Atlas Lions Club is still a club that's going to be an NFT project that will exist and have some fun in the future. Um, and so, I've got that working, and that's where we came from. So we're coming up to a year of minting again, slow and steady. And shout out to Gabo and Ramses. I see them down there, which is great. I should have learned how to join the chat beforehand, but perhaps on my next YouTube,
It's
we'll do
amazing to
that.
see them.
Yeah, it's great to have even a couple people joining us and watching live. J Doms, I got to give him a shout out because that is the actual gentleman who joined me at the Atlas Lions Club to take it over. So he is supporting. And with blockchain beavers, we are going to find better ways and hopefully work with you a little bit more, Bernie,
Nice.
because you've got some great ideas. And I think that if kind of like you're saying, if there's an entire population that's not benefiting yet from the crypto market and cryptocurrencies, uh, we've got to find a way to do it and not just have English speakers, doing it all.
No, and there's another thing that I wanted to ask. Uh, what is Atlas Line still being an incubator,
So it is
or is
not
just the
currently an
community?
incubator. We believe that we will take it and probably utilize some of that history of it being an incubator. Um, again, the blockchain beavers were invested in by the Atlas Lions Club. So the Atlas Lions Club also holds blockchain beavers, which means that club actually has a revenue stream, as
Okay.
we bring rewards forward. So that will be a different type of club. It will be something a little bit more unique in the space. It will have sort of a real life aspect to it as well, because, myself and Dom there, without the real world, we don't have Web3. And Web3 is, we've always had that. How do we sort of integrate the real world benefits of life, touching
Yeah.
grass, whatever, and integrate it with Web3? And so that will probably be where, the Atlas Lions Club comes in. Um, and that will be very much more community focused. And Blockchain Beavers will be my own, um, community based investment group, if you will.
I'm with you with the idea of bridging real world with Web3, using, I don't know, getting my money to invest in Africa. Like I told you, I'm investing in Project 79. They're investing in projects in Africa, but I send the money from Colombia, so it's huge. Or I can send you money for you to invest in some real project in London or in Canada. That's what I believe it's the most wonderful thing about Web3 and blockchain. That's for me is that.
It took
And
me a long time to get into it, but we are a global community. I'm talking to you down in Colombia, right? Like, I mean, I have friends all over the world, and the one thing that moves all over the world is also currency. Things are getting faster, and the speed that currency moves today is actually very slow.
you
But
know
when
how
you go to
long?
Web3,
Yeah.
totally different world,
You know how long
very
will
fast.
take me to go to Canada? It's over 10 hours. It's really far away. Or getting to Europe, it's 12 hours. Going to Paraguay, I don't know if you have checked your travel
I think
agency.
for me to get to
It will take.
Paraguay is like 20 hours because I got to stop like three times. I think it's
Yeah,
a long trip.
yeah. That's really far. So what I believe is great to about thinking on other communities like, I don't know, Gabo's communities or Project 79, or is that we can mix communities. They will talk about blockchain beavers. We will talk about Monzo, and everyone will benefit of this alliance between couple projects. That's why I think it's good to talk to be with other kind of projects invested. Not everything, because not everything is great in in the DeFi world,
Absolutely.
but kind of I don't know. I believe I've thought I've invested in a lot of projects that I've lost a lot of money, and I know which ones are at least the ones can risk more money at this moment after
Well,
learning a lot.
and I think as we grow, to your point, we can continue to grow. And if we are invested in, 10, 11, 12 solid projects and something comes out and we go in, with everyone's funds or with the rewards that we've brought in, and maybe that 15th project doesn't do well because look, not everyone is going to succeed, not every time, and we're not talking about rugs at this point. We're just talking about everyday businesses, you know, investing in companies, investing in mining operations, investing in other areas. Sometimes it just doesn't work out, and the costs get too high compared to what you're bringing in, and people have to shut down. And so in this case, with blockchain beavers, we bring our rewards. We're kind of taking the brunt, rather than every single community member putting 150 or $200 into a project and now it loses. Um, you know, everyone's maybe put in a equivalent of, let's say, $10 to that project. So we lose a little bit there, but we know that continually every month we have rewards coming in so that it doesn't hurt our overall treasury and balance. And that's why when you reached out and you came to me with those ideas that are great, where, hey, let's really look now. Can we invest here? If we continue to mint, if we continue to bring some funds in, absolutely. Maybe we look at, diversifying now rather than waiting until we have, as many AMCR, AMC, you know, into our
Yeah.
treasury.
No, as always, we have to think on doing good due diligence and DYOR in everything. That's a huge
Absolutely.
recommendation we should do to the people that are hearing here. Do your due diligence, your investigations, thorough investigation, because we don't know what can happen. And as you say, there can be rocks, people doing really bad things, or people that the project didn't work. It's simple. It can happen.
It happens, and for anyone that did, does get to the end, for those that have been listening, thank you again. If you're looking to check us out, we do have our Discord, we do have the Twitter. Today, thanks to your fire, Bernie, I did put a copy of the current white paper into the Discord.
Oh,
I have been working to get the website back up, because again, as part of that incubator project, it was hosted with somebody else. We do need some, there are some adjustments that need to be made to the website, people changes, web address, links, and all that kind of stuff. So if you are listening, join us in the Discord. If you want to learn more, it is alphashares.io, where we're minting only. So there is information there as well. You trust Alpha Shares, I trust Alpha Shares, and it's also one of the reasons why I wanted to work with them, because if you know who Alpha Shares is and you're minting on their site or you're trading on their site, you know that we're not just any project. We're a project that is, we're a business that they are willing to utilize and have hosted on their website, on their marketplace. So you can't go to the blockchainbeavers.io website and buy a beaver, because they're only available at Alpha Shares.
that's it. So no, let's finish it. Close it here, and thank you for your time. Appreciate everything that you have talked about and being really transparent to the people. Uh,
Thank you.
it's hard to say no. We've been a long time, or we have troubles. It's hard to say no one talks about it. They try to hide it, but you were open to talk to people, and I think and I believe this is the one of the best or things or best futures of blockchain beavers here, and Mr. O as a project leader. So I appreciate your
Thank you,
time,
Crypto Bernie.
and I hope we can talk later and say we did it.
Absolutely, and I mean we'll be on we'll be in touch in WhatsApp and talking in the Discord, and I've got to drive home. I'm working at my office today, but always open. You can reach out on Twitter, Mr. O. You'll probably find me, but also at Blockchain Beaver. And then hey, I'll watch these comments as well, and I'll try to make sure that I get in there and like and so, and share the video as well, not just because we got to make sure everyone sees our beautiful faces, but also to increase your subscription count,
Thank you.
and make sure that people know who you are, Crypto Bernie, because uh, we did this interview in English. I know you're trying to bring more Spanish speakers as well, but this just shows the global reach that we have.
Now that I will try to do some recap in Spanish for people to understand what the people that don't speak English try to understand what we just talked about. And I appreciate
And
your time. And go back
hopefully I
home.
didn't speak too quick.
No, I
That
don't have problem, but I don't know the people that hear us. Okay,
all
have
right.
a good night and have a safe drive home.
Thank you.
Bye
Buenas
bye.
noches.
Buenas noches.